Cool Figure TV. Revolutionary salute. Revolutionary salute. Like, share, subscribe. Welcome to the House of Revolution. You know I'm your humble host, the Yao Mean of Revolution, the notorious swagger jacker B.I.G. exposed. We gotta deal with this, y'all. Before we get into that, be sure to wipe your feet. That means hit the like button. You in the House of Revolution. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform, y'all. Well, Biggie can no longer. Now, we spoke on this before. I heard people speak on this. Biggie can no longer be considered hip-hop one of the greats, one of the top five. You on Tupac level. None of that anymore. Not when you steal your whole style, your lyrics, your cadence from other people. Let's get into that.
Got some papers in the mail. Original Biggie Smalls said he's gonna sue me for everything I got if I use his name again. So please, nobody, if you see me, my name is the Notorious B.I.G. You call me Big, Notorious Big, whatever. No more Biggie Smalls. That is dead.
Biggie's Juicy, back in '93.
Soundwave, bleed back.
But Big was so fucking arrogant. He's not gonna listen to somebody else's music and then try to rap like them. You understand what I'm saying? The only time I ever seen him do that when he did Bone Thugs and Harmony. And he said, watch how I flip they shit on them. I was there in California when that went down. Kids and people were sending their tracks and they songs into these labels. And I think Suge Knight even said the same shit. And they would jack their shit. So did Pump lead track master down that road? It was like funny. And then yeah, when Big say down the Mississippi up to the East Coast, now you look at shit like that, like, yo, wow.
See, Pac wonders about this. It's not that you just stole the man's song, his cadence, and it was one of Biggie's biggest songs. And people said Puff was a genius. Man, Puff is a genius. Putting this song right here together, using this sample, didn't getting Biggie to, be some type of player figure. He wasn't a genius. He was a thief. And all he did was steal the Notorious B1 whole song, whole style, and give it to this guy right here in Brooklyn. And Pac warned us about this later on in life. This is crazy. And when you go in, a lot of people, when you go into the comment section, a lot of people about this song, a lot of people in Brooklyn and New York who found about this, they said it break their heart. One of hip hop's biggest secrets, break their heart. Big actually literally stole this man's style, his cadence, to come up with something to run with. His song.
Wow.
Juicy.
Here comes the man with the big belly. Here comes the man with the big belly. Here comes the man with the big belly. Here comes the man with the big belly.
So listen up, motherfucker. If you're gonna step this step, well, be prepared, cause the gat is kept. Through my cook, for a nigga like you. And if you want it from the threat, yo, let's take it to the avenue. I mean the pop when we chill. When
that's the business. Cause even I get Puff like, oh man, Puff, that was right to let Biggie try to put some some player lyrics over this smooth. No, you got to give homie from Mississippi that credit. He thought of that idea. That was his idea. Biggie was just a Milli Vanilli imitating this man for this song. We're going to see about many more. Pac told you. Pac named Pacific holds things Biggie stole from him after he heard Biggie do it, but we'll get to that. But this was the beginning of the theft. I'm not saying Biggie couldn't rap, but we know he wasn't past stealing somebody's song, their style, and getting a jump in his rap career.
Yo, what it do, world, man? This Club Dub, man. I'm on Notorious B1 artist, you know what I'm saying? I want to clip a few things up, you know what I'm saying? I was there when he wrote the song in '93. I was like 13 years old, and I was, I was in a room with him and shit, I was playing a little game and shit. Tiger was laying on the floor, writing the song and shit. And
disrespected the South the whole time. Didn't want to get a South no play, but you got the motherfucking nerve to steal from the South and then make one of your biggest icons ever. That's absolutely what you did. You stole this man's whole swag, his whole song concept, then made one of your biggest artists ever. The Notorious B.I.G. That man, Notorious B1, that's ridiculous. Not only did you steal, now if you just stole his name, people say, oh man, a lot of people call this stuff. Then you went in and stole his song, and that man came out with this song first. So you got to question a rapper like Biggie, bro. You letting Puffy bring you not only a song but a name. That's why Puffy felt like Biggie was a puppet and he need the money, because he said, nigga, I made you, I created you. You wouldn't having a single idea, and that's how the labels was getting these cats, creating their names, creating their songs, and all that. And like, nigga, what did you come up with? So I got to question a lot of these rappers, like Jay-Z, all of them. Man, I don't even write. Nah, you probably don't write. You just steal shit other people wanted to come out with and say.
I ain't pretty much had understanding of all that back then. You know what I'm saying? And every time the tape will go off, he'll be like, wind it back. You know what I'm saying? So I just paused the game, wind it, couldn't know the radio shit right there. He stuck on the floor writing this shit.
Hey, man, alive, man, you do this. To think that you supposed to have the success. Because there's other stuff that came with being, Biggie, that image in the machine. But the one thing that was different was this nigga was from the South and Biggie's from New York. And these motherfuckers chose the winners and the losers, and we rather pick a dude instead of getting this dude. And they could have just took this dude and no, fuck that. That's a small market. We need the big market. Just steal his style, steal his song, and give it to this guy in New York, and let's run with it. That's it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I'm steady hitting me wine on the tape. I actually heard the song so motherfucking much, man, that shit fucked me up every time I hear it. You feel me? And it really wasn't no instrumental back then. It was the actual song, So he was bringing that.
You were getting royalties off that song. That'll torment a man. That'll have a man get on drugs, start drinking, be violent. You would hate to hear that shit. You ain't want to hear nothing from Biggie, but you definitely wouldn't want to hear that song. Juicy, come on. If I wrote Juicy and I made that shit up, you think I want to hear that song or hear anybody play it? And everybody thought, you just hating. You just didn't have what it takes. You like, what? I must have what it took. They stole my shit.
The words over the song, you know what I'm saying? And I would wind that tape so many motherfucking times, man. He would wind it back. So boom, it wasn't like today you can go back, put your shit out ASAP. You can record your shit, put it out. It wasn't like that back then. So time went by, you know what I'm saying? And there's a nigga forgot all about the shit, they did that shit a few months ago with them. So boom, I'm in the room. And I was doing something, man. I used to always watch Rap City, on TV raps and all that shit, man.
We got to look at Puffy ripping Biggie off a little bit different now. Puffy knew something a lot of people didn't know. Puffy like, oh, nigga, I didn't write it. You didn't write it, nigga. We busting this shit down, nigga. Hell yeah, I'm keeping the writing. Yeah, I'm keeping writing points and credits on this shit, nigga. You come up with this shit. You just had to whip it, add your little bit of sauce to it. Nigga, it was already a ready-made meal, nigga. When they brought it there, Biggie just put some salt and some pepper on it, nigga, then came out with the dish. That's a fact. Food was already cooked.
I was trying to be fantasizing about this shit. So, motherfucker, I was looking in the closet, man. I heard, you know what I'm saying? I heard the Biggie song. So I thought Tyler made a video for this shit. I turned around, looked at the TV like, damn, Tyler made a video. So I called that nigga. I used to think I ran down and I said, man, you done made a video? Tyler, no. I said, nigga, that's you, man. You on TV, man, that ain't me. I said, man, you on TV, man. You done made a video. He's like, man, that ain't me. So, and he checked it out, man. It is what it is, man. That's what it was. Basically, that's how it happened. So I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? This shit kind of like fucked this up for a while behind that shit. We couldn't really get no exposure coming out of Mississippi on that shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like an underground secret told, you feel me? So basically, you know what I'm saying? The shit basically finally came out. But as I can say, Tiger did write the motherfucking song. He had the name Notorious B1, Big, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know how the shit, nigga took our shit. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. They took our shit. Nigga came out, nigga don't got no We got respect for Big, man. Nigga, fuck with Biggie, man. Biggie a badass motherfucking artist, man. You know what I'm saying? But
what type of slick diss and buster that and over that disrespect did, but what he did for him to put the line in there from the Mississippi down to the East Coast is it's disrespectful now. From the Mississippi, yeah, that's the slick ball. Nigga, there ain't no shout out, nigga. He slick dissing a nigga like, yeah, nigga, from the Mississippi. Oh, he took it to the East Coast. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. That nigga put that little
it's a big ass coincidence that shit came out like that. You know, but that Air Tiger song, I was in the room with him when he wrote the motherfucker. Came man, nigga on the planet Earth. Tell me that man ain't do that shit. I was there, I was rhyming tape back to back to back. Tiger wrote this shit, Notorious B1. You know what I'm saying? And I clicked with the East David Drive, Pine Hill. You know what I'm saying? I was like Lil C to how he was the biggest. You know what I'm saying? I was Notorious one, Lil C. I was a little young nigga up on them 24/7, all that shit, man. It wasn't my opportunity to come out on the rap shit. You know, but yeah, bro put on for us, man, and they actually took it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they took it. You know, and yeah, I'm plugged up, man. Just picking up on my side of the store. Y'all be hearing more other, you know what I'm saying? East Ave, you know what I'm saying? We came with Hot Wheels after that, 2000. We came back with some more fire shit. I heard a nigga talking about magic and shit. Nigga Tiger was in the room. We was making magic then. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all stay tuned, man, because this shit getting deep. Plugged up, man. Notorious B1 artist.
Yeah, imagine Biggie getting killed and they scrambling to find her. Man, we gotta find the next somebody that sound like Biggie. What nigga? That man's still alive. They go out there to Cali. Remember the nigga Gorilla Black. Then here comes Shine. The whole time, nigga, y'all trying to keep the truth alive. Nigga, the man that y'all stole the style, stole the name from, and everything is in Mississippi was still alive, nigga. Anything but the right thing. They would do anything but the motherfucker right thing.
I believe that a lot of people were not privy to this information. And so this is the thing. They're saying that Biggie actually stole his name and a song from it.
Why not go back to the originator? Why y'all kept trying to imitate a style? Even Rick Ross, they continued the sauce. They continued the sauce with Rick fucking Ross, nigga. Rick Ross did it better than any of them, though. But it's the same fucking thing. That is that man's style, his image, the big player. You feel me? Who's spitting bars? Rick Ross stole it from Biggie. Biggie stole it from this man. Still, Rick Ross stole a nigga whole name. Boy, the industry be laughing in people's face at how they do shit.
An unknown Mississippi rapper. Now, before we go any further, let me express that this sounds like the work of none other than Diaper Booty Diddy. Let's just keep it all the way real. Diaper Booty Diddy had something to do with this. Stole that man's style from Mississippi, put it upon Biggie, told Biggie to rap like this, act like this.
I can't blame Puff for this. Even if Puff wanted to, you ain't no motherfucker real rapper, king of rap, one of the best rappers ever. If Puffy can come sit or rap in front of you, a whole rap, a whole style, and a name? How the fuck we just gonna blame Puffy? Biggie supposed to say, hell no, nigga, what am I? Just Milli Vanilli? Yes, that's Milli fucking Vanilli. I know the story of Milli Vanilli. If you just faking it and it could bring you with, I'm telling you, man, when you look at these niggas who say they don't write raps, it's why you don't? No, I want to see you create the song, nigga. I just came up with it in my head like hell you did, nigga. For real, bro. I want to see these niggas create these motherfucking songs who talking about they don't write them. Oh, nigga, please. That's the big finesse. Oh, you been finesse. And nigga tell you, I ain't got it right. Yeah, nigga, yes, you do. Nigga, I'm paying you anything you do.
He's smooth like this and things of that nature. That's just my personal opinion. Now, what I want to do here is play you a snippet of a video where this individual was breaking this whole situation down. So sit tight and I'll be right back.
Call a Crip, same number, same hood. It's all.
What? Biggie stole his name and song from an unknown rapper in Mississippi? Look, I get it. I'm just like y'all. My mind is blown as well. AllHipHop.com just posted an article the other day about an unknown rapper from Gulfport, Mississippi that went by
the tree. I mean, the root. The South is the root. My brothers on the East, the Midwest, the West, y'all is the tree branches, bro. The South is the root. Whether it's the cocaine gang, the biggest drug dealers in New York history, nigga, they from the South. The biggest gang members ever in California history, nigga, they came from the South and moved out there. The biggest gangsters in the Chicago history, yeah, they people moved from the South too. That's just a fact, bro. So it's the only necessary. Puff them knew, oh fuck, we gotta go back to the root to come up with this shit.
By the name Notorious B1. Now, Notorious B1 was signed to an independent record label based out of Gulfport, Mississippi. Notorious B1 with another rapper put out an album called Mississippi Doughboys back in 1993. On that album, it contained a song called Big Daddy. Big Daddy contained the same sample that Biggie used for Juicy, the M2 song called Juicy Fruit. If you listen to the song called Big Daddy, it sounds very, very similar to Biggie's first single from the Ready to Die album called Juicy. Back in 1993. On that album, it contained a song called Big Daddy. Big Daddy contained the same sample that Biggie used for Juicy, the M2 song called Juicy. If you listen,
come on, bro. B1 is Big Daddy. This guy from Brooklyn is Big Papa. You couldn't even come up with your own sugar daddy. I'm Big Papa. That's crazy, bro. So you're gonna take the Notorious name from him. You're gonna take Big Papa from him. No, he Big Daddy. I'm Big Papa. That's the difference. Them two different people. Man, that's disgusting, fam. You have no creativity, and they're gonna show Pac was not lying, bro. Nigga just looking at Pac album, Pac come out, I'm gonna play the video. Pac come out with something, next thing you know, they just steal whatever Pac said, and then Biggie come out and he tried to do that same shit. That's crazy, bro. No crazy.
To the song called Big Daddy, it sounds very, very similar to Biggie's first single from the Ready to Die album called Juicy. Not only did they use the same sample and the beat sounded similar, but they also kind of sound alike if you listen to their voice.
That's crazy. The only reason he named the album Ready to Die because he stole Pac. He sold Pac's whole idea. We're gonna get into that. Pac talked about that. Even naming the album Ready to Die was a theft of Tupac. That's a fact. We're gonna get into that.
Now, after that album dropped in 1993, B1 says that they started sending that album to different labels in hopes of getting distribution. B1 believes that Bad Boy got a copy of that particular album, and Diddy stole that concept, presented it to Biggie, and then he became the Notorious B.I.G., and his first single was Juicy. This in mind, back when Biggie was first signed to Puffy, he wasn't going by the name the Notorious B.I.G. He was going by Biggie Smalls. Then he had to change it legally. He went by Biggie, Big E, but he did not get the Notorious name until Ready to Die was about to come out. Now, of course, everybody should have seen Biggie's biopic. Do you remember the part where he was very hesitant on rapping on the song Juicy with the sample? But Diddy kept insisting, hey, do this.
If I spit this, it's gonna be left for that.
If you spit this, it's gonna be laughing at you all the way to the bank, Big.
If you ask me, I think that Biggie didn't want to rap on the song, not because he wasn't feeling the sample. It's because he didn't want to bite off of another rapper. What makes it more interesting, you remember the...
And I give Biggie that. He probably didn't want to bite off another rapper, but he did. But Puffy stole the song because it's like picking up a lottery ticket that got winning numbers on it, and you just go to the place and catch it. Oh, look, goddamn, what? $500,000 lottery ticket sitting on the ground. That's what that was. It was, like I say, ready-made to go to Puffy. Like, oh, shit. They didn't come up with, they didn't do nothing. Like I say, Biggie, we just need you to touch it up just a little bit. Bam, brought it to the world. Everybody said, Puffy's a genius. Who would have ever thought to put raps to this type of beat? The nigga from Mississippi named Notorious B1 who did it first.
The part where Biggie says,
from the Mississippi down to the East Coast.
Could that be Biggie's way of at least paying homage to the man that he stole his idea?
No,
and
that's this. Jay-Z and Biggie don't pay homage. They sneak this you. They slick this you. They don't pay homage. They slick this you. That was a diss to the nigga. That wasn't no fucking homage. Homage. How does homage? And you making millions off my shit. I want a check. Writer's credit. Points. You don't homage. That's crazy. Oh man, these people crazy, bro. Then they blame the white. See, then they blame the white man. Where's the white man who did this here?
Song concept from. I don't think this takes away anything that Biggie contributed to the game. He is a legend, and we will respect him as such. I think this was a Diddy.
Bullshit. This some Drake type shit here. This some Drake. If Drake can't be in top 5 for what he done, right? Ghostwriters and all that, Biggie can no longer. We come for it. Was all right, but he already didn't have enough material. That ain't his fault. He got killed early. Pac already accused him of stealing all kind of styles and want to copy everything somebody that we see. He's not above that. He's still from the bottom. He's still from the top. Come on, if you're one of the best ever to do it, you don't get caught stealing people's shit like that so heavy. Even your greatest moniker, Notorious, this and that, is stolen from a guy. Big Papa, you stole that from a guy. So what the fuck is you coming up with? What are you working on? Who are you? We have no idea who that man is, bro. That's for real. We don't have no idea.
The Puff Daddy move and not a B.I.G. move. What's messed up, unfortunately, is that Notorious B1 couldn't take any legal action. All Puffy or Biggie had to do was say, no, my name is Notorious B.I.G. Your name is Notorious B1. My song is called Juicy. Your song is called Big Daddy. And they didn't technically sample that record. They sampled M2 Juicy Fruit. B1 also said that Biggie wasn't calling himself Big Papa until he heard Big Daddy. It's all a coincidence, right?
All right, so you guys heard that, and to be honest, it sounds the same to me. The song is the same, but at the end of the day, it's not right. This brother from Mississippi was trying to make it in the game, and he had his whole style bit from a New Yorker, right? So I just don't understand why Diddy hasn't had his head knocked off yet.
Bro, it's so disrespectful how they was dissing the South at that time heavy, saying they was corny, they had no flavor. But you creating your biggest artist straight with the style from a nigga out the South. If we didn't have no flavor, why are you stealing his style? If the flows is corny, why are you stealing a nigga flow pattern and what he came up with is corny, right? Come on, bro. We're just all my people. It's the big city shit that went on with that. Small time nigga, country boys. Big city cats thought they were gonna get away with it. Now this is definitely a hit on Big Lex.
What's that, man? It's your boy Notorious B1. To my Mississippi Tiger, XB1, Tiger Hoods, Tiger 2.0.
This
You know what I'm saying?
Right here, telling you what happened. This him talking.
What's that, man? It's your boy Notorious B1. To my Mississippi Tiger, XB1, Tiger Hoods, Tiger 2.0. You know what I'm saying? All that good shit. Hey, man, check this out. Everybody out there want me to run it down. You know what I'm saying? Want to understand the story. Want to know how this shit all came about, man. It's a lot of this shit I really don't even understand or know, what took place. I just know, from my perspective, from my end of it, what happened, I just know after we did the little Mississippi Dope Boys album, shit started going wrong, at the label front, the person who did the business part, was having problems at home with his family. As far as I know, he left, disappeared or whatever. So, me, I'm still trying to do the thing. I'm still trying to get on or whatever. So me, my homeboy Will, the producer, one of my producers, and my homeboy Wallace, we packed up, between the three of us, a little change, man, jumped in the Cadillac, and we went to Atlanta, Georgia, because at the time, Outkast was just doing their thing or whatever, Eric Sermon had just moved to Atlanta, had a rim shop down on Peachtree, Peachtree rim shop, Peachtree motoring, whatever he called it. But he had a rim shop down there. So, when we got to Atlanta, that was the whole focus, man, to get over here, go holler at.
Okay, let's go. See, this is why I fuck with this nigga right here. first person to move to Atlanta in '93. Before I got there, it was you ask any one of the millennium people that lived there, any one of them famous people that lived there. My shop was where they came to. In the back of my shop was 112 Jagged Edge, T.I., Goody Mob. Even Usher came with the Wrangler truck at the time. David Banner said he got kicked out by Keith Murray from the shop. Tupac, the Dave Justice, anybody that was somebody came to my shop. They was all nobody at the time.
Yeah, I remember we was trying to get down there.
All the people walking down there, it was Jamal, Too Short. They pulled up in the car together.
Yeah, I remember.
Redman. Remember we had to go, when we was up there, and we was like, man, we can't come. Really, we was scared to go up down there. We was like, man, wanna go down there? And we were like, shit, man, we gonna run our poor ass away from them.
Yeah.
Shit like that. And we were like, man, fuck it, let's just go down there. And we walked around, went down there, and started talking to them. And Phil started talking to us. So first we went in the rim shop, and then we seen the chick from Zane, remember? Like,
Yeah.
You the one pointed out.
Yeah.
You like, man, that's the chick from Zane.
No doubt.
She was in there working. Okay. We seen her. Talked to some people. Then they told us about the dude Phil. But remember you were talking about the studio, we were trying to get in the studio.
Yeah, Phil was the studio manager, yeah.
Yep, they said we need to talk to Phil. And they say he be in the blue Lexus. If it's out there, they told us walk to that back and then look down up in that parking lot. They say if it's out there, try to catch him. Back then they specifically said don't knock on that door or some shit.
So that had to be because I remember rapping back there. I remember rapping outside back there.
Yep.
So that's how we probably got in there.
Remember, he said he was fool with us.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. That's what I'm saying. That's how we got in there.
Yep, he said he was fool with us. Like, hell yeah, I can hear him saying, y'all, you know, he was with it. I remember he was telling about Eric Sermon was coming in town that weekend and all that.
Yeah.
Man, I remember that shit, like, I remember that shit, bro.
See, and that was at that time, you know, that's what we was over here doing, man. Niggas was over here just trying to get on, man, just trying to hook up with Eric Sermon and them and, you know, trying to do our thing. At that time, man, I ain't know shit about Big or the whole ordeal, man. I ain't know nothing about it. I'm just over here trying to do my thing, you know. I ain't know nothing about the shit until my nigga Club, you know what I'm saying, back from the crib called me because, you know, we over here in Atlanta trying to do our thing. So he figuring nigga done came over here and got on and shot a video and, you know what I'm saying?
I was looking in the closet, man, I heard it. You know what I'm saying? I heard the Biggie song. So I thought Tiger done made a video for the shit. So I turned around, looked at the TV like, damn, Tiger done made a video. So I called him.
So he called me all excited and shit, like, my nigga watching your video and shit. I'm like, nigga, I ain't got no video. He like, nigga, how you gonna tell me? Nigga, I'm looking at it. I'm like, my nigga, look at it again, man. Nigga, that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't shot no video. So, you know, finally, you know, he looked at him, both of them tripping too. So he like, man, you got to see it, man. You got to see it or whatever. So, you know, in Atlanta, you know, they had a rap show, well, a video show, you know what I'm saying, back then. And it was called The Box, you know what I'm saying? So that's what you watch. It just come out, it was banging, it was going hard. So, you know, when I turned it on, The Box, that's what was on. So I just started in that shit. Here comes the brand new flavor in your ear. You know what I'm saying? Find the new flavor in your ear. I'm kicking new flavor in your ear. Make the brand new flavor, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just vibing out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even knowing, you know what I'm saying? And that the shit finna come on after that and that, you know what I'm saying? I put it on there to catch, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And, while I'm vibing and shit, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, the shit just come on. You know, and at first, man, shit, I ain't know how to react. You know, I just sat there for a second.
Whole life would be different had they gave him his shot. Instead of stealing his shit.
And loud. This shit just broke my motherfucking heart.
The CAL is the Junior Mafia,
Yes.
and they know it.
It's the same shit, man.
The same shit, and they know it. And Doug Wright, he would have been Lil C.
Yeah.
Shaq,
All that,
the
yeah.
twins,
Yeah.
man.
All
You
that.
had a squad.
Yeah, man. We were deep, like.
Nigga, you had a squad, boy.
Willie D Live.
Now, was King T around at this time?
King T, back to Houston when we was in high school. You know, it was this kid from California that came out here because he was acting up in Cali. And he was running with Lester and Jazzy Red. I meant to say Jazzy Red, too, who was Jimmy Kimmel's favorite rapper. Jimmy Kimmel said, my favorite rapper is Jazzy Red. And he played I Am a Dope Fiend on his show.
Is that right?
Yes.
Jimmy Kimmel did that?
Jimmy Kimmel did that.
After Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel said, whoever Jazzy Red is, and we've been trying to get Jazzy on that show forever.
What?
But yes, but King T was a kid out here running with Lester and them. There was a beast on turntable. His name is Terry T. Terry T is King T. When we went, so my girl from college in Tennessee came to see me. You know, she lived in L.A. She drove out here, see your boy. But I mean, chicks that drive thousands of miles to see me. That's just who I am and who I've always been. Yeah, but I thought it would be like, you know, my brother had.
How far did she drive?
From Los Angeles, 3rd Ward, Texas. I was at
She
TSU.
drove from Los Angeles. She was trying to get away from somebody, bro.
No.
She came all the way down here
just to see me. Yeah, we met in Tennessee, and
she drove. What is that? What is that? 1,500 miles? What is
it's a lot of miles. Because let me tell you what happened. Though she drove back out here. She came to see me toward the end of that semester. Now, my brother had a friend named Kirby Hatchett. Shout out to Curb. Kirby worked for Merrill Lynch, and my major was economics. My minor was finance. I was going to get an internship. My big brother was notorious for trying to hook me up with stuff. He would be like, yo, da-da-da. So I was going to do this little intern with Kirby in 2 weeks. I could not let that girl drive back to California by herself. I drove to Cali with her. I'm in the nightclub, and this is why I quit school. I'm in a nightclub, and I see Terry T, and I'm like, what you doing out here? He's like, man, I'm working on my second album. I'm like, fuck out of it. What was your first album? and it sure enough was him. I was like, he was like, no, come to the studio tomorrow. And then gave me his number. I go to the studio, Cube, Ice-T. I see Paul Mooney walking down the street. Like, I was like, this nigga on for real. Yeah, this my homie from Houston, man. We used to do. You know what happened? I never left Cali. I didn't come back to go to Maryland. Now I'm in Cali now. I'm in LA. Yeah. But King T, Alcoholics, Exhibit, Loop Pack, I can just name on. And, you know, when people be talking about them great rappers, King T was the first rapper to get played in New York City in rotation. That song, Payback. Biggie, if you listen to his cadences and Biggie's on record, yeah, King T, man. His whole, the first album, the cadence, and that was King T. Mm-hmm. Go listen to Payback, Act the Fool.
Wait a minute, man. You're trying to say,
I'm definitely saying, no. It's fact. It's known.
You're saying it's a fact that you saying Biggie, Jack,
King T,
King C style?
Biggie said it. King T was one of his favorite rappers. And if you listen to the cadences and all that on Ready to Die and go back and listen to some old King T stuff, you'll hear it plain and clear.
What about that dude, I think from the South, they were saying that Biggie sounded like some little dude.
The Notorious B1.
Is that his name?
Yeah, he was from Mississippi.
But
if you listen to that, I mean, and it ain't beyond Puffy to do some shit like that.
Those sounds are very, very. I ain't stupid.
It ain't beyond.
Very similar.
I'm gonna say it again. It ain't beyond. To me, it ain't beyond Diddy. If you look at his
record and track record. I mean, shit.
But do you think do you think Biggie just jacked that one like record or
Yeah, I wouldn't take no. We
style?
not about to take nothing from Big on that note. I think
if he didn't jack that style,
it's a hell of a coincidence. You know,
somebody did that style first.
It's a hell of a coincidence.
Somebody did it first.
I'm just saying, I don't know for sure.
See that, nah, brother, it ain't who style. Like, was he really know what he doing? Who style? Who done it first? Notorious B1. Big Daddy done it first in Mississippi. Biggie, Puffy, finessed it, stole it, ran with it. Because they had the bigger audience. They was from the big city. Come on. That's just a fact.
But it's not beyond belief that, you know, shit. 'Cause, I mean, you got to think, man. Puff is a creative cat.
Well, what style is closer, the guy from the South or King? King T's from.
No,
yeah.
When I say King T, I mean Biggie's cadences, the way he. To Nitro, you're gonna do windpipe slow, all of that. Yo, go listen to that old King T. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Huh.
People say that I'm ugly and I got big lips, but when I walk by you
still that. You still a little bit from Notorious B1. You still a lot from Pac. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Damn. What are you bringing to the goddamn table? What is your original talent and flavor? Nothing.
Black and ugly is ever, like there's a whole lot of stuff. Like if you know, you know.
Shit, that ain't cadence. That's content. That's lyrics.
I ain't gonna again. I'm not gonna say nothing for sure, but I know for sure that Big, King T is one of my favorite guys, and it's not beyond possible. And you listen to King T's stuff, and then listen to Big's "Ready to Die," and it's there. The influence is there, and there's no knock on that. We all were influenced by something. I'm just saying, King T don't get his flowers.
We all have been influenced by somebody.
Biggie was, one of the best to do. I think the Life After Death album, I think that's a perfect album. I think there's a lot of perfect albums, but I think that's one of them. That boy, you talking about, sophomore jinx? He didn't have that. A lot of people had a sophomore jinx. Big had
Life After Death, stole a double CD concept from Tupac, more theft.
The sophomore graduation, and then the unfortunate stuff happened, which is we miss him. But I'm just laying the facts out with people, when I hear young, he was the first one to do this. Nah, let me show you. Oh, you old niggas just hating. No, we ain't hating. I'm informing you. It's my duty. It's incumbent upon me to pass down knowledge because I'm sick of other motherfuckers telling our stories.
To it. Recently, there was a story in regards to the Notorious B.I.G. and a young guy down south by the same name. And the question was, do you think that Biggie stole this young guy's image as well as his name, as well as the song, or should I say the idea for the song Juicy? And I want to go back to Tupac because I had done a series of videos in regards to, Tupac helping Biggie out and looking out for Biggie before Biggie was well known and on the scene, as the Notorious B.I.G. Now, you got to remember first, he was going by the name of Biggie Smalls, right? So with that being the fact that he was going by Biggie Smalls, when he came out with his first record, his name was then the Notorious B.I.G., right? And so when you think about that, it's undeniable that they changed his name and that they got that name from somewhere. But what's most telling is the fact that not only was the name the same, but the track that the guy, the M2 made track that the guy had rapped on, Biggie had did the same identical track as well as the same name. So if you ask me, did Biggie borrow, or I wouldn't say steal, but I mean you could say steal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or hijack the guy's name and that track, I would have to say absolutely yes. He did. Yeah. And so that goes back to what Tupac was saying, you know. And like I say, hip hop is a competitive sport, if you will, if you want to call it that. And I go back to Tupac saying, when Tupac said, "It's all about Versace, you copy my style." You know what I mean? 5 shots couldn't stop me. I took it and smile, or drop me. I took it and smile. So now I go with that because most people say, well, Biggie was better than Tupac, right? And everybody has their own personal opinion, and you can have your opinion on it if you want to. It's perfectly all right. But how can, you got to ask yourself, how can Biggie be better than Tupac, right? When Biggie actually stole somebody's name, as well as the first song that he ever released as a single, which was Juicy. He stole the whole concept. And what tells us that happened that way is because this guy, his record was out before Biggie put his record out. So the timeline matches up. Not only just what the young man is saying, you know, a lot of times people don't want to give people their credit because they might not be well known. Like this young man here, you know, he probably was known down south, you know what I mean? But a lot of people up north, New York, out west, and so on and so forth, didn't really know who the guy was. You know what I mean? But it's clear. It's clear. It is crystal clear based on the date when this was released versus when Biggie dropped his first single versus Biggie was going by Biggie Smalls at first. And then he changed his name to the Notorious B.I.G. It's, you know, basically identical to this guy's name. That's not a coincidence. We got to be clear about that. So like I said, when you go with the Tupac thing, like I tried to tell people, Tupac was original. You know what I mean? There was nothing carbon copy about Tupac. That's why so many people like to, you know, claim they knew Tupac, the next Tupac, and so on and so forth, because of his authenticity. And so that's the thing that I'm talking about. You got to take into totality the difference between Biggie and the difference between Tupac, right? And the fact of the matter that before Biggie was even known or on like that and known worldwide or, you know, throughout the tri-state area like that, Tupac had him on tour with him, opening up and doing shows with him. You understand what I'm saying? And so, like I said, Biggie was dope. Don't get me wrong. Biggie was fly. He was show enough about that work. You know what I mean? And like I said, you can take nothing away from Biggie, but you cannot deny that Biggie got that name and the idea for Juicy from that guy. It's too much of a coincidence. It's Notorious B.I. and then Notorious B.I.G. and Juicy's your first single. It's like a match made in heaven. And that also goes to show you that the marketing and the promotion of a big label or having the machine behind you, right, where you can kind of smother a lesser known artist and people would never find out about where Biggie had really got that name from and where Biggie had really got the idea for that first single from. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people always equated to that. And that just goes to show you that, well, you don't have to be big or well known. Like I said, if the record label picks you up and promotes you and markets you and the world finds out about you, then, you know, then you are what appears to be the original or the best at what that is. But it's clear that the young man from down south, he was that guy. He was the original Notorious B.I. You know what I mean? He was the original guy who came out with the song using the M2 sample, which Biggie then did It's Over and then titled it Juicy. You understand what I'm saying? So when you think about that, that's the craziest part. So people always are quick to look at the most famous person and the person with the name and say, well, oh, you know, well, Biggie was X, Y, and Z. And I understand all of the emotions and things like that. And I feel the same way. I think Biggie was a hell of an MC. You know what I mean? He was a hell of a rapper, and you can't take that away from Biggie. But you also can't take away the fact that Biggie got that name and got that idea for that song from the young man down south. That is a fact. And that's something that we can't overlook. And so you go into all of what everybody else has been saying, like, oh, you know, who's better? You know, they had Will.I.Am speak on, I guess basically he came up and said, well, Biggie or Tupac didn't do it for him. And I understand where Will.I.Am was coming from, like listening to Tribe Called Quest and all of that. You know, it was a different vibration of the kind of music that Tribe Called Quest and De La Soul was bringing through. You know what I mean? But I also think that when you talk about Tupac in particular, right? And you talk about Biggie, because I'm gonna tell you, I can give you one song in particular.
Anything Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul was rapping about, Tupac was rapping about too. That's why he is the greatest. He touched all topics. It wasn't nothing he was touching. All that conscious music that they could dream about, rapping about, Pac rapped about.
Particular that for me, that inspired me as far as Biggie, and I can give you one from Tupac. So I don't totally agree with Will.I.Am in regards to that, right? And the song from Biggie was Sky's the Limit. You know what I mean? That's a very inspiring song. That's a, you know what I mean? That wants you to inspires you to go for your goals and go for your dreams. And you know, he's like, yo, see you chumps on top. You know what I mean? And that's whatever your goal or your dream was. So I disagree with Will.I.Am, and I think he was trying to paint a broad brush across Biggie and Tupac with that statement. Also, Tupac, let's go with Me Against the World, right? Very inspiring song. He says it's just me against the world. You know what I mean? And a lot of times for people who feel like that, you know, it is just them against the world. They have that feeling. And Tupac is basically saying, you know, never give up. You know what I mean? Never forget.
And Me Against the World album is where Biggie got a lot of his ideas to start stealing from Tupac. Pac gonna point that out. You know, that's he. Pac said after Biggie dropped his album Ready to Die, he had to go and switch a bunch of shit up for what he was gonna be doing because Biggie was stealing. Biggie was stealing everything.
Forget about your goals and your dreams. You know, when you say when in the position of making the difference, politicians and hypocrites, they don't want to listen. It was nothing like the game. It's just me against the world. You know, this is the same thing that we're dealing with in these crazy times right now, dealing with politics, dealing with, you know, the January 6th and all of that stuff, you know? And so I would have to beg to differ with Will.I.Am.
Me Against the World album. That's where you get your Dear Mamas. That's where you get your Dear Mama from. You know, classic. The hell Will.I.Am talking about. It ain't no song deeper and that just touch everybody, everywhere, every race. Anybody with a mama plays Dear Mama and they start crying and tears come to their eyes. I'm gonna say they don't play with Pac, bro. Because he didn't play, you can't pigeonhole him with no song. He wrote about every freaking thing. That's why he the fucking GOAT. He didn't steal nothing from nobody. He didn't need to.
And like I said, I don't think that when he did that that interview that he was challenged enough in regards to what that really meant and what he was saying in regards to that. But I do understand it was how he personally felt, how it affected him. But when you talk about the in-depth statement or looking at the facts of the matter, you got Sky's the Limit from Biggie. You got Me Against the World from Tupac. You got Dear Mama. And you got a few other songs where they drop jewels, you know, that would help you understand and want to be more than what you are. You know what I mean? And by using them as the power of example, coming from humble beginnings, should I say, but making it out and becoming a success in their own right. Tupac, acting and so on and so forth. So yeah, I just wanted to deal with those two subjects, if you will. But like I said, when you go back to what that was in regards to the story about the young man from down south and Biggie taking his name, as well as the inspiration for that record, from that record that he did that turned into Juicy. Yeah, Biggie did do that. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was Biggie's idea or Puffy's idea, but we can clearly see, that did happen. And so, yeah, that's the crazy part about that. But that's the way the game goes.
Greatest MC who wouldn't have proved theyself, still a man's name in his whole song for your first single. Come on, bro, you coming out the gates a swagger jacker and a phony. A milli motherfucking vanilla. Come on, man. But Pac won this. We're gonna get nobody want to live in the Pac. And he told him, man.
And like I said, for Tupac saying the same thing about Biggie, and the song, hey, it's all about Versace. You copy my style. You know what I mean? Listen to his record, Tupac said, first he was talking about murder, this, that, and the other. Now he's talking about Versace and wearing all of this, that, and the other. Got all the because he's seen me wearing it and rocking it and talking about it from that perspective. So I think hip hop is one of those things where you do borrow some stuff. You know what I mean? Some people bite other people's styles and things like that. But yeah, but Biggie took dude's whole name and the first single and he blew up on it. And I got to give the dude down south some credit. You got to give him some credit.
Like Jay-Z with Jazz-O. Come on, bro. They keep comparing he bought a Pac, man. Pac ain't had nobody he can look in the mirror and say, oh, shit, let me pretend to be you. No, Pac was hot, nigga, because he get out and Bone Thug, slamming Thug. He like, damn, fam, you stole off my plate. But they squashed it, but like, damn, you eating off my plate. Next thing you know, West Side Connection. They talking about bow down to the West Coast and throwing up the dub. And Pac like, damn, where all that was at first? No, Pac said, you when niggas want to tell nobody bow down. Now I'm on my motherfucking West Side ride. He said that. Y'all all stealing my shit. Revolutionary salute to our Queen by Capricorn for the donation to the war chest. Revolution is with life. Absolutely appreciate the love. Family salute. She say salute, General. Our lady was saying, dear mama moves people's soul and they boo-hoo and cry tears. That's a fact. There's no taking away from it. And I can't believe that boy said Pac don't have nothing so emotional for the people. You got to be crazy. But revolution is with life. Absolutely appreciate the love. Now let's hear from the GOAT himself. The people overlooked. I didn't overlook it because I heard what Pac said. I lived it. I knew everything Pac was saying about that situation, especially with Biggie, and it just was breaking his heart because he was trying to get a man some game and something to run with, and Biggie was supposed to be thug life. Then he just was switching up on him. Pac didn't understand where that's coming from.
Keep his name on the streets till you're laying it.
That's it from the GOAT. What the GOAT got to say? Greatest of all time. That was still up for other rappers. They still pretend to be him.
Study how after I met Biggie, Ready to Die come out, his whole style changed. Study.
I don't want to live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door.
They want to bury me, I'm worried. I'm losing my mind, look down the barrel of my 9 and my vision's blurry.
Come on, man. And come on, man. Pac, that's what people didn't pay attention to. I did. I absolutely did. Pac trying to show you a category like, damn, bro, anything I put out and I let him hear, he steal it from me.
I don't want to live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door.
They want to bury me, I'm worried. I'm losing my mind, look down the barrel of my 9 and my vision's blurry.
He had my album, Me Against the World with the second one. He had the first one.
Stress is building up. I can't believe suicide's on my fucking mind. I want to leave.
Damn lost and I'm weary. So many tears. I'm suicidal, so don't stand near me.
Study why I would be mad. Ready to Die came out and it sounded like my album. All my album was about, dealing with death.
Only Gab can do it like this.
During the beef, I'm gonna leave out some shit for now because maybe on my deathbed, I'm like, of course, both of them I was in the middle with a lot of shit, and Biggie said a lot of shit to me about a lot of shit, and because we knew each other from the beginning. But the biggest thing that I think hurt Pac was he gave Biggie Shine an opportunity, and a lot of the things he said, R.I.P. Big, I don't want to on nobody. A lot of the style, or a lot of the do this, Pac gave to Biggie. There's a song where I think maybe Big didn't want to acknowledge publicly how much help Pac had gave him as a big brother type of mentor or brotherly type of mentorship. But Pac was definitely frustrated at the fact that he felt like he extended himself to Big, and Big was trying to just run off into the sunset with the fame.
Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building. And this is Machiavelli Media. Let me give a shout out to my homeboy Pudgy, man. Pudgy was good friends with both Tupac and Biggie. And it took a lot for Pudgy to come out and say that, yes, Biggie borrowed a whole lot from Tupac. Pac put Biggie up on game, put Biggie up on a lot of things, and Biggie just couldn't find it in his heart to give Tupac his credit. And you hear Tupac say 1,000,000 times that he taught Biggie this, he taught Biggie that, took Biggie on the road with Biggie sleep on the couch, and I never publicly heard knowledge. I can't recall him. Biggie said, "Yeah, Tupac taught me this. Tupac taught me all this from Tupac." You know what I mean? I admire this about Tupac. I admire that about Tupac. I never heard him say any of those things publicly, and it just got me to wonder, why is that? If this is a guy that you considered a friend at one point in time, and before the drama, before the beef, I still didn't hear Biggie speak, publicly about Tupac or glowingly about Tupac. Not a single shout out on the albums. And this is a guy who showed you the game, a guy who took you on tour, a guy who put money in your pocket, a guy who gave you a style to run with, and no public mention. I just find that odd. To Pudge's credit, he said, Big would talk to him about a lot of things. Tupac would vent to him about a lot of things, but he would never go back and tell the other one what the other one said. And I can dig that because they both was his homeboys. But as a friend, a neutral friend of both parties, for him to see and acknowledge from Tupac, even he noticed that Biggie couldn't find the words to come out and say, yes, I borrowed from Pac. Yes, I was influenced by Pac. Yes, I stole from Tupac. I soaked up game. None of that. He just wanted to act like he invented the wheel. He discovered America. He pulled the Christopher Columbus. I did this all by myself. And, Pac was very disappointed by that because Tupac didn't have to lend a hand to Biggie at all. He was already established. He was already a household name. He was already a multimedia person, movies and music. And here he is helping a guy on a Jumpstart label, up-and-coming label. Bad Boy Records was not established yet. And Tupac is this mega star, and he's got giving them game.
You hear Pac say, Big, don't rap for the niggas, rap for the, you know what I mean, the females. Because the brothers want with the like. Put him up on game, then you got Biggie going, baby, baby. Biggie just took it all and ran with it. No thank yous. And you know what I realized in this game, man? People don't owe you nothing, man. When you give something, you got to expect it to be gone. You would think when you give from the heart, people will return back from the heart. But a lot of times they don't. And you wind up being more disappointed in the fact like, wow, I can't believe I did this for them and I got nothing. Not even a thank you. That's when you realize, you know what, when you're going to do it, just do it and say goodbye. In those regards, and if, you know, if it come back and they look out for you like, oh, boy, good looking, you know what I mean? And they 9 times out of 10, they'll tell you, hey, man, I never forgot what you did for me. That's how it should be. But in a lot of cases, you don't even get a thank you. That's probably what bug out the most. That he know, that Biggie know what he did for him. And we ain't even gonna get into the quad shooting thing. Because you know, Pac was like, he owed me more than to turn his back and act like he ain't know they was about to blow my brains out. All I did for him, that's how he paid me back. But it was just the fact. You know that when Biggie got his success and people was calling Big King of New York, and he had a cover of magazines and all of that, you know Pac wanted to hear Biggie say, yo, shout outs to my homie Tupac for holding me down, showing me the ropes, put me up on things. Thug life. It's all that man wanted to hear. That would have been music to his ears. But no, he couldn't even get that out of Biggie. I don't know if there was Puffy right there with him, you know, had him handcuffed, but strange, man. I mean, you would expect more from somebody you gave so much to. You know, you lended yourself so much to this individual, you would expect a lot more in return. Not even to mention. And he was saying stuff like, yo, Pac, stay strong, you know, while Pac was locked up. But like I said, no public mention of all the game you borrowed from Tupac. Not a peep. I don't know, man. I got a question for y'all. They say copying is the biggest form of flattery. Should Tupac have been offended that he had to change his whole album? That's right. He had an album before Me Against the World that was about to come out on the heels of Biggie's Ready to Die. And Pac said it was his whole album. He said Ready to Die copied his whole album to the point where he had to go back, scratch the release. A lot of those songs came out on the Are You Still Down album. It came out after Tupac's death. He had to change all those songs around and give Interscope Me Against the World. And you know what? God don't make no mistakes, because a lot of people say Me Against the World is Tupac's best album, hands down.
It's one of his best albums, one of his best bodies of work. That's why nobody can claim Death Row made him. Please, Me Against the World went platinum while he was in jail for ever fuck with Death Row. He was already a superstar, didn't get no bigger than Tupac. But to hear he had to scrap his original work, then put together Me Against the World, because Biggie was stealing all of his shit. Whatever he do, he trying to get a little nigga some game. This nigga is stealing his sauce. And Pac is such a legend, Biggie can't create nothing. Pac like, fuck it. Let me go make some more shit that go platinum and outsell everybody else. That's something they don't talk about. But behind Biggie stealing his style and his music.
So everything worked out the way it was supposed to. But Tupac had to change his whole album because Biggie had basically copied it. You know, Tupac whole album was dealing with stress, street life, macking chicks, and you know, depression, suicidal thoughts, and death. That was the whole premise of Biggie's Ready to Die album. If Biggie steal the album, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. This is Machiavelli Media.
Speaking of Tupac, man, how did you and Big Stretch first meet Tupac?
Well, like I said, Ed Lover, you know what I'm saying? That was our man. He brought us in, you know what I'm saying? And niggas, a lot of people don't know that Shock G is from Queens. He's from Fall Rock. And Shock G and Mark Sachs and Ed, they all grew up together, you know, in the band stuff and all that. You know what I mean? And they never lost touch with each other. So now when they in the music field, you know, Shock moves to, you know, he moves to Cali and all of that. And now when Ed got us and everything didn't really work out with the music, with the Def Jam and all that, he sends us to California to work with Shock. And we start doing beats for Shock. I mean, Ed really was trying to keep us off the street because Shock didn't need nobody to do no production for him. You know, he's well in-house. He does everything. But that was Ed's little, you know what I'm saying? Getting us out the hood and shit. So we started with Shock, started fucking with Shock. We did the first single. No, we did a remix to the No Nose Job remix. We did a remix to that, and my brother featured on a song called Family Affair on that joint. But that's how we met Pop. You know what I'm saying? Like us, Live Squad, fucking with Shock G, Digital Underground. Pop is part of Digital Underground. You know, we all New York niggas, Shock New York, Pop New York. So it's like we had a, you know what I mean? We had a bond, you know what I'm saying? And that's how we got cool with Pop. And, you know, while Shock is running around, that's the captain. You know, everybody else is behind, you know, until Shock say, let's go do this, do that. Everybody else is together. So that's how us and Pac got to be so close. And Pac was working on his stuff. You know what I'm saying? We produced, we all New York, then we all young. Y'all got to remember, we teenagers at this time. So that's how our bond started. And, you know, it never faded. All this stuff that everybody's talking about, this, that, and the other, that's the trolls. For everybody that it means something to, and you know what I'm saying, the real family, ain't none of that stuff that everybody's talking about means nothing to them. They ain't fucking with none of that. All of that is for the trolls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's news to me, man. I had no idea Shock G was from Queens, yo.
Yeah,
that's crazy, yo.
Yeah.
So when did Biggie come in the picture?
Well, Big, that was Puff Artist. You know what I'm saying? That was Puff Artist. And well, Big, when it comes to Big, we met Big through Pop. You know what I'm saying? Because when we first heard about Big, we didn't like Big. We didn't like Big. We didn't like that there was another guy with that name, Biggie Smalls, because one of our guys' name was Biggie Smalls. So, you know, when Pop was telling us about him, we was like, who the fuck is Biggie Smalls? You know what I'm saying? But then when we got around him and, he ended up being cool and shit and that, you know.
Revolutionary salute to our Queen Tori for the donation to the war chest. Revolution is real life. Absolutely appreciate the love, Queen. Salute.
Biggie Smalls, Tupac, Live Squad, we became a Trinity. You know what I'm saying? We all opening up for Pac, you know what I'm saying? Big will come out, do party and bullshit, or we'll come out, do Heartless, he'll start party and bullshit, then Pac will start the show. You know what I'm saying? That was the Trinity. That was the Rat Pack. You know what I'm saying?
How did Tupac feel about Biggie at first, before the beef and all that? Like, how did he truly feel about Biggie when he was around y'all?
Like I said, we was a Trinity. We was all one crew. You know what I'm saying? That was fam. That was fam, my nigga, all day. All the way up to Pac, man, ain't nothing changed. The only thing that changed was Pac went to jail. He got shot. He was going through a lot of emotional shit. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to stay on top of his game and not let what happened to Slick Rick when he went to jail happen. You know what I'm saying? You know how we grew up. We grew up watching NWA break up and Cube and them selling millions of records by dissing each other. You know what I'm saying? He had to stay relevant, you know what I'm saying? While he was locked up and going through whatever he was going through. So it was the only thing that was just a little more serious than with Slick Rick. He got shot, he got locked up, you know what I'm saying? It's real for Pac. So y'all can't take everything that he said, you know what I'm saying, as it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? He was going through a lot of shit. And remember, like I told y'all, we was teenagers and young men in our early 20s when all of this is going down that y'all saying. So you could do stuff and say stuff at 17 and 23 that you would never say in your 40s, in your late 30s, or your, you know.
For Majesty, but his brother, he just can't face the fact. He's not talking about this right now, but his brother Big Stretch absolutely set Tupac up. Tupac never forgives Stretch. It's a shame that Stretch was killed the very same on the anniversary 1 year later of the same day Tupac was killed and set up. Tupac absolutely points the finger at his brother, and he got love for Pac. He loves his brother, but he just won't accept the fact your brother set up Pac to get Tupac robbed, not to get him killed, but get him robbed at Quad Studios, you know, and like what he's saying right now about, you know, this, you can't just take everything everybody was saying, but yeah, but I take everything Pac was saying about your brother. It was as factual. He knew exactly what was going on with your brother. And Jimmy Henchman, the Haitian Jack, it's gospel. Pac dude nigga was stealing from him. He was like Pac said, nigga, I ain't paranoid. Hell no, he wasn't paranoid. All of the haters was around him and want to set him up and get him out the way so they can steal all his songs and steal all his style, smile his face, pretend like they got love for him. Now we find out years later, none of them got love for him. Whack 100 can say whatever about Pac. This is mama. Nobody don't do nothing or say nothing. They expose themselves. Roaching off of Pac.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what the world is going through with all this he say, she say, this, that, and the other with Pac. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the family and who it really counts, everything is still everything. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Manu, shout out H Rider.
The family
shout
Pac wasn't out fucking with y'all when he died. This little brother, I feel him. He got caught up. He don't want to know because he didn't know he wasn't with his brother. His brother made that move. He just was a little nigga, but he was with the crew. But he absolutely know. He absolutely know. Like Napoleon said, it's his brother came back and told Pac, carrying message from Jimmy Henchman, saying when Pac say nigga, Jimmy Henchman said you can't go to war unless you got your money right. And when Pac said on Machiavelli, I got my money right, now I want war. He finna go at them niggas motherfucking ass. He was absolutely finna wipe their ass out because he had his money right till he got set up in Las Vegas. But the only way he knew that because this nigga brother was coming to tell him. And like Pac said, switch sides, gets his new friends, want them dead. Yeah.
The Outlaws, shout out my whole fam. You know what I'm saying? We out here, man. E-Money Bags to the death, Big Stretch forever, Gaddafi, Fatal Hussein, Big for life, man. We out here. E-Money Bags, Big Stretch. We out here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm still riding.
See, he caught
keeping
up.
the legacy going.
The nigga caught up. I feel him, bro. He caught up, but the nigga big, and then they said he just don't understand why Pac cut y'all off. He was upset Pac didn't come to his brother's funeral. What the fuck would Pac come to your brother's funeral, bro? And Reggie White Jr., the cop, see, he dirty. He's insinuating that Tupac got Suge to get the nigga hit, and that one of the West Coast hitters for Suge flew out there to the West Coast, and he said the hitter absolutely was out there, made it look like the shit was drug related, you know. You know, and Reggie White, see, that's the type of shit and I believe that's the type of shit he holding over Suge here right now. The actual murders, like that's one of them. That Big Stretch murder that Suge absolutely probably had done on behalf of Tupac. Because Stretch had him set up and got robbed.
You know what I'm saying? Grand Imperial Music. That's what we started. We here.
Right. I seen an interview from
one bar that I'll never forget. Pac said in the song, he said, at one point Pac was saying, I'm not a killer, but don't push me. Then the next thing, after Stretch them got killed and all that, he was saying, I'm no longer innocent. Casualties arranged, made a lot of money. See, I studied. He said, I'm no longer innocent. That was a real rap. He no longer innocent. Casualties of range. He got blood on his hands now. He done put a hit on somebody. Who was he talking about?
From you, my man. You made a comment before. You said, you know, Tupac and Biggie, they was cool or whatever, and you said that at one point Tupac started to feel a type of way about, you know, Biggie as far as him taking his style.
Well, that's something I said that I peeped personally. You know what I'm saying? That I think, like, I know where the strikes came. Then when Pac got in that situation, you know what I'm saying, with the Brooklyn people, this, that, and the other, he took his little 3 strikes that he had on Big and put it all together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
like,
tell me about that, yo. I mean,
well,
where,
I said I feel I know where, because I see personally, I know Pac had love for him. You know what I'm saying? I told you we was all running around together. That's our boy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, Pac always rhymed about like having kind of a obsession with death. He always rhymed about, you know, dying and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So Biggie, when Biggie did I Don't Want to Live No More, I think it hit death knocking at the front door. Then he named his album Ready to Die. Little stuff like that was like, those is like strikes that I say that was in Pac's mind. You know what I'm saying? And then one time we was all in the crib together, you know, and I already know the genuine love Pac had for him. I'll tell you, one day we in the crib. The first crib he got was in Notorious in Atlanta. We all out there, and Big's first video come on. Dolly Baby is him, Supercat, and somebody. But Big is on the song with Supercat and somebody else. I think y'all remember that song. If y'all don't, but yeah, it's a song that they did at a video. The video comes on, and you know, we all in the crib watching the video on TV, and Pac, you know, eyes is open, he jumping around like we was so happy for Big. So, you know what I'm saying? Like it was us, like it was him, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's, I knew he had mad love for Big, you know what I'm saying? So now, later on, as we, you know, as we going on with our careers and stuff, and we Pac kind of like we start the Thug Life movement and all that stuff, and you know, we all, I told you we was all opening up for Pac, this, that, and the other. So it wasn't like Pac was like, yo, I'm starting this Thug Life thing, we all down with it. It was just, he never said that, you know what I'm saying? It was just, we all crew, nigga, whatever movements we got, we all repping each other's movement, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't like he really said it. But one day he was reading some credits, and he was like, damn, man, I think he was reading some credits on something that Big, I don't know if it was the album or whatever. It might have been the album, whatever. He's like, damn, man, nigga took my baby, and I can't even get a shout out. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I heard him say that. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So that was a strike. Then the other stuff I told you, the song and naming the album Ready to Die, and then this Pac being a regular Gemini, you know what I'm saying? That all of that played a role, you know what I mean? And how he you know, went about certain things. And that's what I know for sure, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, as I think about it, that baby, yeah, I think Tupac did say that.
Yeah,
at one
he the
point,
first one started that. You know what I'm saying? But when you crew, everybody rubs off on each other, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like Big took it. It was just, you know what I'm saying? That was the lingo. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm not mistaken, I think Tupac felt like Biggie took his style on the song Everyday Struggle too, right?
Nah, he never had an issue with it. I'm saying that because that chorus was a Pac chorus. Big ain't never did no chorus like that. I don't want to live no more. I think it hit death knocking at the front door. Something, another day, another hug. Don't that sound like a Pac chorus?
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, it came out later when Pac was mad at certain things, and that all of that was coming out. I'm like, look, I knew it. When he said it, I knew it. Talking about he's trying to take my style and be like me, this, that, and the other. That's where all that, I seen the beginning of where he was getting them thoughts from. You know what I'm saying? I'm right there. But that's about it, man. It wasn't no beef or nothing. Niggas ain't never had no beef. You know what I'm saying? That was all that media shit. Like when all that, whatever East Coast, West Coast was supposed to have been going on, I'm in California. I'm with Manuk and Syke, and I'm at Johnny J's funeral. You know what I'm saying? we ain't seen it. We don't. That shit didn't exist. That shit was all phony, man. That was all phony.
I know it wasn't him. Just like your brother set him up. That one he was a little nigga. Know what's going on. Yeah, you was there, but you just was a little nigga. Everyone telling you about who's on that type of shit. Let me check this out.
And I'm living B.I.G, Notorious B1. Mr. Big
I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call a crib, same number, same hood. It's all good.
Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab. I'm in the building, and this is Machiavelli Media. Before I get started with this video, big shout outs to my homeboy, The Art of Dialogue, who personally requested that I did this video. 2 days ago, The Art of Dialogue posted on his Instagram page, did Biggie Smalls, aka the Notorious B.I.G, steal his name and his song from this guy, a rapper out of Memphis, Tennessee? And, you know, Art gave me the whole backstory. He was telling me that he saw it on Twitter. It didn't have much traction. He posted it. Now the story's caught on like wildfire. And yes, he requested that his main man Gab do a video on it. So here it is. Now this is not uncommon practice, but it can't get no more blatant than this. Now, I remember when Biggie first hit the scene, he wanted to use the name Biggie Smalls, but some type of copyright wouldn't allow him to use that. I don't know if it was him or was it P. Diddy, but somebody came up with the name the Notorious B.I.G at the last moment, and that's what they ran with. But to me, this whole situation got Sean P. Diddy Combs written all over it. I mean, let's be honest. Okay, the sample of this song in question here is from a group called Mfume. The song is titled Juicy Fruit. Now, this rapper here, the Notorious Big One, he sampled Juicy Fruit and he rapped to it. And it's just one hell of a coincidence that his name is the Notorious Big One. And then Puffy gets Biggie. Biggie's first mainstream single is Juicy, same beat with his new name, the Notorious B.I.G. One hell of a coincidence. Now, the report has it that this rapper out of Memphis was signed to a smaller label named Dragon Records back in the early 1990s. He was trying to promote his demo, or should I say his album, for distribution. And yes, it was passed around the industry. It was in the hands of a lot of people. But it looked like Puffy got him. Oh yeah. It definitely looked like Puffy clipped him on this one. This is plagiarism at its finest. This is not just biting. This was straight up jacking somebody's whole fucking name, the concept of that song. It even had the same style to it. His voice, oddly enough, even sounds like Biggie's. I mean, I know a lot of the Biggie fans are going to be upset over this one, but hey, don't get mad at me. You need to holler at Brother Love and see what the fuck was really going on. But yo, this is just one artist that, you know, the industry has stumbled upon. How many other people did they jack along the way? You heard Tupac say his whole album sound like what Biggie copied. He said he had to change his whole album because Biggie had damn near took the idea of his whole album and ran with it. So is Pac as crazy as what people were saying he was? Was he just straight up hating on Biggie like they said he was? Or was it some truth to it? Somebody had some sticky fingers, and I ain't talking about homeboy from Onyx. God damn, took the man name, bad enough, fat little dude with the baseball hat. He probably wore Kango too. This is just one picture that we found of him. Shit is crazy, man. I know it's gonna be crazy when somebody finally talk to him. Now, out of respect, since Biggie passed, he said he hadn't said anything, but before Biggie passed, he had planned on, making a lot of noise over this shit. He wasn't gonna take it lying down, and then Biggie gets murdered, and then he was like, yo, fuck it, I'll just let it go. Now, I don't know if the brother's trying to pursue a rap career, or do he just want his story out there, but sounds like he's ready to talk. And it'll be very interesting to hear what he has to say. Did he give this directly to Biggie? Because back in the 90s, rappers would walk up to you and hand you their whole demo. Yo, can you sign me? Yo, I rap. Hear my tape. Put it right in the artist's hand. Artist being the limo. Writing down rhymes they want to take. Hey, I'm gonna take this nigga beat. Oh, I like that punchline. I'm gonna take his punchline. And then a few months later, the artist be trying to figure out how to sue him. But if he don't own the music, because it's a sample, it ain't much he can do. Because the music ain't his. If they tweak a couple of the lines, the punchline's not identical, it ain't shit you can do. But I believe this was more of an executive move from Puffy. They probably said, it ain't nobody gonna ever hear about this. He from Memphis. Back then, the South wasn't making much noise. He probably said, man, ain't nobody gonna ever hear about this shit. Hey, Biggie, look what I found. But you know what they say was done in the dark. It's funny. Somehow it always seems to come to the light. I mean, this was done shamelessly. This wasn't even like, yo, we're going to change this. Why don't you just call yourself Big, whatever. The guy name is the Notorious B1, and they named Biggie the Notorious B.I.G. The guy's song is called Big Daddy, and Biggie's version of the song is Juicy. Same beat, same rhyme flow, same rhyme concept, same sample concept. I mean, it was almost a case of identity theft. Let me stop. I know some of y'all gonna be mad over this video, but like I said, don't get mad at me. Holla at your boy. Next time y'all giving Puffy a Lifetime Achievement Award over at BET. Ask about the little people he stepped on to make his way to the top. Can't forget about them. Anyway, I hope you guys like this.
Cool thing. Follow me.